Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and have kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to start a series on how to eat well at different types of restaurants, and today we're going to start with Mexican. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, my podcast, Naturopathic Earth and Awakened Man, respectively. Tons of content there. Check out my 2 books, and if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal for a small donation. All right, I thought it'd be good to start this series, and we'll probably get it to at least 5 cuisines, and maybe I'll even go all the way to certainly Thai and Middle Eastern, which are my favorite foods. But I thought we'd start with Tex-Mex, because Tex-Mex is universally loved regardless of where you live in America. I remember when I lived in Alaska, being in the Yukon Territory and going to a Mexican restaurant in the middle of nowhere, Yukon Territory, and they call it the fajitas over there fajitas. Well, you can't blame them. I mean, they're 7,000 miles from Mexico, and this was before the internet. So Mexican food, which is my people's food, my family was born in Mexico, I am Mexican by blood, has a lot of good and has a lot of bad. I would say as a whole, Mexican food, authentic Mexican food, which I hate to tell you that 90% of the Mexican restaurants in America are not authentically Mexican. They're more like what we call Tex-Mex or Cal-Mex. There are a lot of good things that you can eat at Mexican cuisine that would be considered to be healthy. So we're going to cover those first, and then we'll cover some of the things that you should avoid. So let's look at some of the good superfoods, or the foods that will help with weight loss and weight maintenance. Guacamole / avocado. We have an episode here, I think it's episode 7 of 20 Pantry Foods That I Eat. Guacamole / avocado is great. It's a superfood. It's very high in fat, in the good fat, the MUFAs and PUFAs, and high in fiber. It tastes great. So when you go to a Mexican restaurant, indulge in guacamole. Now, guacamole can't have a lot of calories, but remember, not all calories are the same. So you should definitely eat the guac. What else? Beans. Beans are great. Now, beans have high in fiber. They are high complex carbs, unless you're going keto, of course. Beans should be eaten. Now, I would veer off the refried and go to more of the borracho beans, or charro beans as we call them, like just the kind of beans in a sauce, because you're avoiding the fried element. But beans are great. You should definitely eat beans. You should eat salsa. Salsa is one of the few condiments that doesn't have a lot of sugar. So salsa's got fresh vegetables, so indulge in the salsa. You should also indulge in the meats too. So chicken fajita, as long as it's authentic chicken breast. I mean, don't expect it to be organic. Okay, this is going to be industrial grade chickens that are shot up with antibiotics and so forth because it's a restaurant. But chicken's fine, the fish is fine, shrimp is fine, steak fajita is fine. All these are things that you can indulge in overall that are pretty healthy. So those are all like check pluses. You can definitely eat those foods. Kind of in the middle would be rice. Some people hate rice and say rice is horrible. What it does to your digestive system, it's empty carbs. And certainly the rice you're getting at Mexican restaurants isn't going to be like long grain brown rice. It's just going to be the conventional rice that's flavored. I would tell you that compared to other bad things there, rice is not that bad, and I would tell you to totally eat it. So if you can get like a fish plate, like, I don't know, pescado a la veracruzana or something like that, or some sauteed shrimp with beans, rice, guacamole, sauteed onions on the side or on top of the shrimps. All that is fine. So what should we avoid? Well, I think you know what we should avoid. Anything that's fried. I think you could apply that to all these future episodes we do on restaurants. Any fried stuff. So you're looking at the tortilla chips. Now, that is part and parcel of going to a Mexican restaurant, is eating tortilla chips. So I'm not telling you that you need to avoid them. I would just say eat them sparingly, and when they bring the second bowl, push it away. You don't need second, third bowls. What else is problematic? Everything that's fried. So you can get like some places will do the fried like tostada bread with cheese on top, or you get the tostado bowl that's fried. The bowl is fried. Anything that's fried, just stay away from it. Stay away from them, all of them. The gravies are problematic too, because there's just a lot of calories and a lot of salt. So ideally, don't get stuff that's smothered in gravy. Cheese as a whole, if you go to an authentic Mexican restaurant, you go to Mexico, they're not smothering their entrees in cheese and chili sauce. That's very kind of American hybrid. And so you'll see a lot more like goat cheese, for example. So you just try to go light on the cheese as much as you can. Tortillas. Corn tortillas you should opt for over harina, over flour, just flour. And you're dealing with gluten and gluten insensitivity, but also just has more calories. So I would go with flour tortillas there. What else can we talk about? So like some of the appetizers are not the best. Queso flameado, which is just chewy, like fondue cheese. Probably should stay away from that. But as a whole, I mean, look, if it's any produce, totally cool. Corn tortilla is fine. Beans, especially charro beans or borracho beans, are fine. The lean meats are good. But just try to stay away from any of the desserts. Clearly, I don't think we need to talk about that. But try to stay away from anything that's smothered in cheese, smothered in gravies of different types. Mole, for example. Mole, I would say, is a sauce that's okay. It's not the typical kind of canned one. Mole, it's from like the Oaxaca, southern region of Mexico. That's got a little chocolate in it. And you guys would probably be familiar if you ever saw it. It's a very black sauce. But again, with all the sauces, kind of use them sparingly. The Mexican food is definitely, when you go to a Mexican restaurant, there are choices and options that you can make that would lead to helping your weight loss and weight maintenance. So definitely don't eschew or avoid Mexican food. Just make the right choices. And the right choices are going to be definitely corn tortilla, beans, guacamole, sauteed vegetables, the healthy salsas, and the lean meats. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.